What's up, everybody? My name is Kenneth and I'm a foreigner living in the Philippines, here today to react and continue learning about the geography of Philippines. We're watching the Geography Now Philippines episode. It's really interesting. In the last part we watched the other half of the video and it was really interesting. So today we're gonna continue watching this video. It was recommended to me by a lot of people. And rightfully so, because it's a really good video. So yeah, without further ado, let's get back into this video. Let's go.
Now, only in the Philippines can you find people that have Spanish names, speak English, celebrate an Austronesian culture, and cook Chinese.
General MacArthur once said, "Give me 1,000 Filipino soldiers and I will conquer the world."
Yeah, for some reason, Filipinos are like the best friends of Asia. Filipinos still have the best attitudes and smiles. They even give time off felony sentences if the prisoners volunteer to take part in a Michael Jackson dance performance to the public.
But we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Is that real?
First, the graph. The country has about 110 million people and is the 8th
So many, it's crazy.
most populated country in Asia and the 12th most populated country in the world.
There are about 175 ethno-linguistic people groups in the Philippines,
So
the
many.
majority of whose languages are Austronesian.
Of these groups, the largest ones are the Tagalog at about 28%, 13% are Cebuano, 9% are Ilocano, and 8% are Bisaya. The rest are made up of other groups.
Wait, I'm really confused now. There's one thing I've never understood, and I haven't really seen a good comment explain it to me either, or a good video. Everyone says Bisaya and Cebuano, they're interchangeable, like they're the same thing. And I remember I asked in a video, is it okay to call Cebuano speakers Cebuano? Because if you're living outside of Cebu, but you're speaking Cebuano, then you might be offended because you say, I'm not from Cebu, I'm speaking Bisaya, right? So, but here is actually listing Bisaya and Cebuano differently, as if they're two different languages. I thought they were the same one. Are they actually different? Is there a difference between Bisaya and Cebuano? I thought it was just two different names for the same language. Very interesting. I don't understand Bisaya Cebuano difference at all. Please, guys, if someone can explain that to me, I'd love to hear that. Please leave me a comment down below.
Small minority of non-native citizens, mostly Asians and Americans.
It's important to note, though, that the Philippines has about 10.2 million people overseas worldwide. It is one of the largest diaspora populations, spanning over...
Yeah, you never go to a country without seeing Filipino people. I've never gone to a country. They're always working in shops or always working in general. Very hard working people. You see them everywhere working.
100 countries. The US alone has about 4 million.
I mean, they were
Wow.
at one point colonized by the US, so go figure.
They use the Filipino peso as their currency, they use the types A, B, and C plug outlets, and they drive on the right side.
When do they
Go
use...
figure.
They use the Filipino peso as their currency, they use the types
C.
A, B...
I've never seen this in the Philippines. You always have to have an adapter. Because in Norway we use this only. And so all my chargers are this, so I have to use an adapter to charge in these sockets. But I've never seen this in the Philippines. Maybe some houses have this plug, but I've not seen that.
and C plug outlets, and they drive on the right side of the road.
Oh, and keep in mind the word Pinoy is synonymous with something that is Filipino. You might see that used a lot.
Now back to the ethnic groups thing. Since there are over 175 of them, you would think, how do they all communicate?
Well, the Philippines has two official languages. English, which makes them the fifth most English-speaking nation on earth, and Filipino, which is the standardized version of Tagalog. The Philippines
Right. And it's so nice that everyone speaks English here. It's so, like, for a foreigner, it's so nice. It really makes it, like, possible to explore the Philippines.
Tagalog language spoken today is very different from pure Tagalog. It actually has about 14% Spanish, 10% Malay, and 7% English mixed into it with a slew of other borrowed loanwords. You can see the influence in words like pintelador, guapo, zapatos, and familia. You can see the influence
What's
in
guapo?
words like pintelador, guapo,
From Spanish. Oh, okay.
zapatos, and familia. Often, Filipinos will substitute an F with a P.
Or a V with a B.
Or a
Right.
B with a B.
Yeah, same with Koreans actually. Yeah. High five with minimal consonants.
Yay!
A V with a B. Is Bisaya? Is that? I just thought of that off the top of my head. Is that related? Because it's called the Visayas, but they call the language Bisaya. Did they switch the letters? Huh.
Oh, and fun fact, Ken taught me this. In Tagalog, you can actually say an entire conversation just using the syllable ba. For example,
Ba? Baba. Baba. Baba ba. Baba ba baba. Ba. Baba ba baba. Baba.
Bah?
What? Ba 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 ba.
Ba 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 ba.
Baba ba.
Well, that was fun. Otherwise, in the Visayas and Mindanao area, Cebuano is a common language, as well as the other regional tongues like Waray and Daboeno.
Here it says Cebuano again and Bisaya, but I always thought they were the same language. So interesting. This is brand new to me, this video. Before this video, I was sure Cebuano, Bisaya, same thing.
Even have the only Spanish-based Creole in Asia, Chavacano, located in Zamboanga City. Now, the Philippines is unique in that
That's really
over
cool.
the past few centuries, they've gone through 3 periods that shape their identity.
Before European intervention, the Philippines has had a multitude of early civilizations that built kingdoms and dynasties like the Tondo, the Namayan, the Pangasinan, and the Sulu Sultanate.
Many of these kingdoms had their own indigenous writing system, such as the Babayan, Buhid, Eskayan,
Right,
and Kulitan.
I just learned about the bye-bye.
Genetically, Filipinos are classified as belonging to the broader Austronesian people group, with their closest cousins being the Micronesians, like the Mariana Islanders, Guam, and Palau.
Although over the years, many people have mixed, and today it is speculated that somewhere around 1/5 or more of the population may have some kind of Chinese ancestry. After the Spanish came in, they adopted many of the customs, traditions, and cultural traits which have Spanish.
Why Chinese? I don't remember anything about Filipino history where it was kind of like occupied by China or really that much ties. I guess just through trade. But wouldn't they like then mix with like Japanese also through trade with them or Indonesians? And I don't know. Interesting.
Roots. Their own countries named after Spanish King Philip. The biggest trait, though, would be the fact that they are predominantly Catholic, at about 81% of the population adhering to the faith.
The rest are mostly Protestant, with a small Muslim minority in the South Mindanao.
What? The entirety of Mindanao basically is Protestant? I never knew that. According to this map, it seems like it's mostly Protestant and Muslim, of course. But I thought Protestants was like I knew it was just a tiny minority, but I thought it was like evenly spread. Like there's some here, some there, some there. But there's like an entire region. Why is that? Why is Mindanao Protestant? That's really interesting to me. Did they have more like American influence? Maybe because the Spanish didn't conquer this region, right? So they didn't spread Catholicism there. But the Americans did, and then they spread Protestantism. Is that correct? Something like it must have happened, because that looks very like unnatural.
The Philippines is the largest Christian nation in Asia, 5th largest Christian nation on earth, and 3rd largest Catholic nation after Brazil and Mexico.
They have so many
Wow.
holidays and festivals devoted to Catholic themes like All Saints Day, Holy Week, and Easter, and of course, the largest one, Christmas.
The Philippines has the longest Christmas season
Right.
out of anywhere else on earth.
Okay, so
Yeah.
now we're just gonna rapid fire a list of 12
Yeah, they didn't really say, but the Burr months here from September, it's Christmas right now. It's crazy to me. It's so weird coming from Europe, where Christmas doesn't start until late November or November. A lot of people don't put up decorations until the December 1st, and it's gone by January 1st. All the decorations are gone. While here, you start in September. I love it. It's so cool.
fun cultural facts for the Philippines.
Filipinos have a ton of superstitions. For example, whistling at night will turn you into a werewolf.
For formal occasions, you
What? That's not what I learned. I learned like ghosts will follow you if you whistle at night. Not that you turn into a werewolf. And I am guilty of doing this. I have whistled at night here in the Philippines before I knew about this superstition. Very scary, but I'm not a werewolf quite yet.
may see Filipinos wearing traditional barongs for men and Maria Clara or mestiza dresses for women.
There are many other traditional costumes and customs for the other 170 ethnic groups. Too many to cover, but it goes everywhere from feathers, coconut fibers, hair dresses, tribal tattoos, and so on.
Speaking of which, the Philippines dominates major international beauty pageants with a grand total of 15 victories at the Miss Universe, Miss World, Miss International, and Miss Earth
Wow, really? That makes sense. Huh. Wow, I did not know that. I'm learning a lot from this video.
competitions.
Basketball and boxing are the most popular sport by far. They have the oldest
Everyone is playing basketball here, which is like, it's so American to me because in Europe, no one, I mean, people do play basketball, but it's not that popular. While here, it's like bigger than soccer, almost, bigger than football almost. It's crazy. Maybe it is actually bigger. I don't know. I see a lot more people playing basketball than football here. While in Europe, it's the opposite. Some people play basketball, but everyone is playing football.
Basketball league in Asia, and the second oldest in the world after the United States. And come on, we all know Pacquiao.
The Philippines is the leading nation to train and export nurses abroad. It's been said at one point, every Filipino has their should I just drop everything and become a nurse moment in their life crisis.
That's a fact. I've had those. And the word balikbayan means returner or returning family. It is used when someone comes back from expat work abroad.
You might hear the honorific title of po or opo for elders, and a lot of people often raise the backs of the hands of their elders to their forehead as a sign of respect and say bless.
Mano po.
In the Philippines, you have your name and you have your Pinoy nickname, and they get really weird and creative. Pepsi, Bing Bong, Jelly Boy, Pinky, Bum Bum, and Earl.
Every Filipino on every island in every region can tell you Filipinos are obsessed with karaoke. The first karaoke machine was
it's always, you hear karaoke singing always here.
actually patented by a Filipino, Roberto del
Wow.
Rosario, even though some Japanese dude invented it, but he patented it.
Obviously, that means music is a big deal in the Philippines. Besides taking modern cues from American pop, they also have traditional style. Instruments include things like gudyapi, gilitang, gimbal, kubing, and togali.
In addition, there are many different styles of dance, but the most famous one considered the national dance is tinikling, a dance done between two pairs of perpendicular.
I actually saw this at the night market. Some people were performing this dance and it looked really cool. It's just very hard to do.
Bamboo poles that are clapped together as percussion tools, and the dancers must weave their feet in and out in the spaces before getting hit or tripped.
Now, on
Wow,
a bit of
with
a more
fire?
objective
Looks
note,
scary.
we do have to talk about some of the controversies.
The Philippines is beautiful, but if you've been keeping up with current events, they do have their fair share of issues that have made headlines. We don't sugarcoat
Really?
everything here.
Human trafficking, whether into the sex industry, slavery, or organ smuggling, has been a problem in certain areas. And even though
I've heard about none of that. That's new to me. Human traffic. I mean, drug smuggling. I've heard about. Human trafficking in the Philippines. Huh.
anti-trafficking acts have been passed by the government, enforcement has not always been on par.
The drug trade has also been a major inconvenience for decades, affecting millions of people in the country. This has led to the new controversial laws instituted by President Duarte, which encouraged the public to seek bounty in exchange for hunting down drug pushers. Many have died in the process.
And finally, you have the Moro conflict, an insurgency in the predominantly Muslim Mindanao region, which sought to take parts of eastern Malaysia and break away through conflict. The fight has been going on.
Wait, they actually want independence from the Philippines? Wow. Interesting. I want to learn more about that. If someone has a good video on that, like what they want, why they're doing what they're doing, why are they unhappy with being in the Philippines? What do Filipino people think about that? I have so many questions. I want to watch a video about that conflict. I haven't heard of that.
For nearly half a century, and now it's just ending at the turn of the 21st century.
Kind of.
For what
Oh,
it's
it's
worth,
ending,
though, in the
okay.
Philippines, everyone is family at the end. You don't have to be related to anyone to call someone ate or kuya. There's even a
True.
word, bayanihan, which means something like helping one another through community spirit without expecting anything in return. In any case,
Wow.
we gotta finish off this segment with history.
Austronesians.
Tribal kingdoms and sultanates.
This guy came to the islands.
Catholicism comes in.
Lapu-Lapu and Magellan dies in battle.
5 Spanish dudes followed through.
They finally become a colony of Spain.
The galleon trade.
British Philippines.
And then back to Spain. The Treaty of Paris.
Philippine Revolution.
The Spanish-American War.
First Philippine Republic.
So much,
Philippine American War.
American occupation.
World War II, Japan invades.
American pushes them back.
Finally, Philippine independence.
Ferdinand Marcos turned from president to dictator.
Martial law.
This guy gets killed because he was against the regime.
Actually, most of the history videos I've seen, they kind of end where Philippines gets independence from the US. So some of this stuff is really interesting to me because I don't know what happened after that. I really don't know. Like after they got independence from the Philippines, from the US, I mean, there was a dictator apparently.
Power revolution in 1986.
Growth from
Wow.
agricultural society to an industrial one.
And here we are today. And now we finish off with the notable famous people condensed. Some famous people
I'd like to see a video about that also. If you have a good one in mind, please let me know.
guys, the Pino
About the like post-American era after 1946. What happened in the Philippines?
geography suggested we mention in this episode include
Lapu-Lapu.
Jose Rizal, these two saints,
Melchora Aquino.
Manuel L. Quezon,
Lacan Dula. Josefa Yanes Escoda. And Vicente Lim.
Carlos Peña Romulo.
And all the Miss Universe winners. And there's a ton of Americans with Filipino or partial Filipino descent.
Yeah, you can see there's lots of American
Bruno
Filipinos.
Mars. I didn't know that. That's cool.
Those two get along pretty tight.
We'll explain more on how that happened in... Because of the long history in the Philippines being colonized by two major Western powerhouses, it would make sense that it would have ties with the outside world in many different ways.
For friends, the Philippines is generally close with all the ASEAN nations and does great business with them, particularly Indonesia and Malaysia, their closest neighbors.
The Marshall
That's really confusing to me. They're friends with Malaysia, but they claim territory as theirs. I really can't understand this. Like, in my head, if you claim someone's territory, you're not going to be friends with them. I'd love to hear that explained.
Islands, Palau, and the federal states of Micronesia are all cousin countries, many of which have Filipino migrants in them, and they all share the same history of being former US territories and US influenced states.
Of course, Spain will always be in the back of their minds as the former colonizer that they gained much influence from. Although Filipinos are not considered Latino, the Spanish and many Latin Americans kind of see them as like the adopted Asians that totally fit in their family. It's like, come on, you're Catholic, you eat flan, every fifth word you speak is Spanish, you're basically one of us.
Interestingly enough, the relationship with Mexico has historically been always strong. The Philippines was ruled under a Mexico-based viceroyalty of New Spain. The Manila galleons were Spanish trading ships, which for 2.5 centuries linked the Philippines with Mexico across the Pacific Ocean, making 1 or 2 round-trip voyages per year between the...
So they kind of had the same government, the Philippines and Mexico. I guess that's what that means. They had like the same governor, maybe.
ports of Acapulco and Manila, and Mexican traditions were brought in like the Day of the Dead and Champorado.
When it comes to their best friends, however, most Filipinos would probably say, even though colonial years were a little bit bumpy, ultimately the USA and South Korea.
South Korea was one of their closest best friends from the 20th century on. World War II really bonded with them after the Japanese occupation years, and they supported each other diplomatically.
Koreans are the top #1 tourist demographic that visit the Philippines. Koreans kind of admire the fact that even though they were both influenced by the US, Filipinos speak better English, whereas Filipinos practically obsess over Korean products and media.
Us.
That's why we're...
Yeah, right, he's Korean, but he's also Filipino, I think. And I guess he's recording this video in the Philippines, because he had Jollibee. Unless Jollibee is in Korea, I don't know.
For the USA, ties were close ever since they became their colony in 1898. The US also had the largest number of overseas Filipinos at over 4 million, most of whom live on the West Coast states like Hawaii and California. They are one of the oldest Asian partners of the US. They have a mutual defense treaty, and they are the largest export partner and second largest import after China.
American pop culture dominates much of the youth influence. Hollywood studios love filming there, and Gallup polls have shown that the USA is favored on average by over 90% of the people asked, making it one of the most pro-American countries.
A lot of people, when they see me, they say, "Oh, Americano, Americano." They just assume I'm American. But it seems like, yeah, people do actually love America here a lot.
On the planet. And Ken, you take the conclusion.
In conclusion, if you enter a room full of Asians, you definitely know who the Filipinos are. While everyone's so uptight, we're the ones singing karaoke and somersaulting. You could just feel the energy of a Filipino. There's a touch of Latin flavor with American pop undertones. But in the end, no matter what island, you're immediately considered part of the Pinoy family.
Ken, you're one of my best friends. I love you, man. I'm so proud of you.
Thanks. Stay tuned. Poland is coming up next.
All right. That's a really good video. I'm gonna give this a like. Geography Now is always good, so thank you everyone who suggested this video. I'm really happy I watched it. I learned so many things. I can't even keep my head around all of them, but yeah, really good video. So thank you guys for recommending that. If you have any other videos you want to recommend to me, maybe something I've requested, but also just anything about the Philippines, then please let me know in the comments, and I'll check it out and probably react to it. Alright guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you like videos like this, you should subscribe and like, because I make daily videos of me reacting to the Philippines. So yeah, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video tomorrow. Alright, thank you guys, bye bye.